Today in James, we learned that James was shown a fidget axolotl today. He's a fine, scrunchy gentleman, and everyone should have one.
Welcome to What the Fuck, James, where we ask our friend conspiracy theories that make us go, what the fuck, James? I'm your host, Zachary, and therefore, I am not James.
I am also not James. I am Megan, but I am looking forward to see what James has brought us today on What the Fuck, James.
And I'm Matt. Today I learned that I'm also not James. But I do get the pleasure of introducing him. So, James, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm James, and today I learned that I'm James.
Nice.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's honestly, it's a good problem to have.
Self-discovery is a gift.
Hey, kids.
Self-discovery is a
Be-
gift.
It's truly a
introspective.
gift.
Yeah. Learn about
Learn
yourself.
about yourself.
I've
Explore your
always
options.
thought, like, it's so weird when, like, parents are talking about their young boys growing up, and it's like, he's discovering himself, and it's like, no, that's what I'm doing as a 30-year-old man. Your son is playing with his penis.
Yeah, discovering himself.
Yeah.
Get your hands off my penis!
For having a succulent Chinese meal? This man has
That's a
just grabbed
fucking legend.
my limp penis. And you, sir, are you ready to receive my flaccid penis?
This is
Why
all.
is it?
This is all just
You've seen... Please tell me you've seen that video.
I've seen
It's...
quite
No.
a few videos in my lifetime, and
Oh my god.
honestly,
it's a guy getting, like,
quite a few
arrested.
of them talking about penis.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
It's a guy getting arrested, and he's just, like, talking to the cops, but his voice is so, like, radio announcer, and he's just like, this man has grabbed my penis.
He's completely unhinged.
It's
The
hilarious.
voice you were doing reminded me of the TikToks that me and Zachary have sent to each other a few times, where it's like the wizard, and he's just like, I cast testicular torsion.
I cast
Oh, yeah.
mend butt crack.
Whoa!
No.
And butt
Yeah.
crack.
I cast moldy clothes.
I found the video, so
I don't
I will
like
send
this.
it in the...
Thanks. We're off to a ripping start
We
here.
are off to a really great start. Alright, guys. We have played... first of all, we've reset our strikes to 0, and James, as your guest on the podcast. I just want to remind everyone who's listening at home that you earn a strike when you make a joke that we think is in poor taste or like a really bad pun or so on and so forth. And if you get 3, you stop talking for the rest of the podcast. So our strikes have been reset to 0. We played rock, paper, scissors for the order. And typically we'll just have our guests be here in a space to make jokes with us. Not often do they bring their own stories, but James, leading up to this, said that he wanted to... He had a story that he wanted to bring to our attention, so we figured we would give him
Here
Oh,
the
we are.
opportunity to go first tonight. So, James, whenever you're ready, you can take it away.
Let me open up my book.
Your book?
He's
There's a whole
Get
book.
the book.
The man has a
No,
book.
there's a book.
I feel like we're about to be in that scene, or literally in the entirety of Princess Bride, where we're just being read to.
My
Get a
fellow,
fucking blank.
my fellow what the fuck historians. I approach
us.
you today
Yes.
with a story that's got it all.
Okay.
Murder, war,
Yeah.
famine,
Okay.
imperialism,
I hear
fascism,
you. Yes.
and of course,
Amazing.
pornography.
America.
Oh, yes.
Fuck yeah.
I'm here.
For a second, I was thinking he was talking about the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Yeah, the fourth horseman, pornography.
and then he changed it to
Pornography.
imperialism, and I was like, that's not one of the Four Horsemen.
I mean, it could honestly.
But it
It's
could
cool.
be.
It's war. It's in there with war somewhere.
He's like war, famine, imperialism, and I was like, oh, okay.
I'm glad imperialism
Yeah.
is the one you got hung up on and not pornography.
No, pornography
just when it was
definitely
getting good.
like it would have
No,
been
it was there.
it would have been a sharp right turn at the Four Horsemen.
I think pornography is less of like maybe in Texas. It's one of the Four Horsemen. That just seems like
No, one of the four
angels
horsemen
to
of
most
Texas
people.
is liberals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Colored
also
hair, books, and
Pornography is one
Yeah,
of the
reading.
That's their-
Four Horsemen in Utah.
Utah. Yeah, wherever there's Mormons.
That and soaking. Anyways, sorry for interrupting.
No, you're-
Soaking is not one of the Four Horsemen. That's one of the saviors. That's like a king to
Yeah.
Brigham Young.
now, why don't you soak into this a little bit? I'm here to talk to you about.
Oh my god. I'm debating. I'm
Oh.
debating on giving him a strike for that one, but he's the main guy.
I think
Wait,
I'll
let this
second
man
it.
cook.
I think it's a strike.
Oh man,
No, let this
let
man
me
cook.
cook. Let me cook.
I mean, keep cooking.
I'm
Alright, I'm letting you
talking
cook.
today about domino effects.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
and there is a. If you've been around in the internet as I have, there's a popular one. It's sort of tangented or segmented into like a couple different parts, but there is just like a one that's brought up a lot, and so I'm gonna talk to you guys about that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I can either tell you what it fully is right now, or we can just go. You can hop on the train and take this ride with me.
So yeah, I think
Surprise
it's
us.
it's always worked a little bit better when we just bury the lead a bit. So I think if you just go.
All right. Well, anyways, so we all know Archduke Ferdinand,
Anyway.
right? And he was murdered.
Yes.
Yeah, I've
You
heard
know,
of him.
out.
Take me out.
Yep. Take me out.
Franz Ferdinand, shout out. He was murdered, which led to, as we all know, World War One, WW1.
Yeah. The war to end all wars.
The war,
they call it.
WW.
to end all wars. Now, did that war end all wars? The answer is no. The Allies won, and the Treaty of Versailles was imposed on Germany. Now, what happened after that, you say? Tension. Tension between Germany and the rest of the
Sexual
Europe.
tension.
Sexual tension between Germany and all of Europe. And one man took advantage of that and rose to power. His name?
Hitler.
Adolf. Yes, we all know. Short section. He promised. He
We've
promised
all heard of
power.
good old
He's
Adolf.
like, elect me, and Germany said, honestly, sure. Japan looked at
Fun fact,
Germany.
he wasn't even German.
No, but he was a failed art student.
was.
Much like me, my freshman
He
year.
was.
Japan.
I like the self-deprecation
was a
there. It's just like,
self-deprecation that
it
I
is
was
what
not
it is.
expecting.
Japan looks at Germany and goes, you know what? We should expand our empire too. And they join the Axis side. Whoa, who would have saw it coming?
Yeah.
Now,
I didn't.
if you don't know, World War II happens.
Oh, I never would have guessed.
Yeah.
And Japan does this little thing called Pearl Harbor. It's not really that great. And so the U.S. retaliates with the Oppie Toppie Special. The Oppie Toppie Special.
Oppie-toppie.
The Oppie Toppie.
That is in
Special.
bold
Yep, I
capital
hear
letters
you.
in my notes. Which
yeah.
leads to Japan retreating and the war ending. When the war ends,
Nice.
Japan falls under U.S. occupation. During that occupation, American soldiers bring Western comic books, cartoons, and other art that helps influence the culture of Japan and their up-and-coming artists. Post World War II, also the Americans sort of impose new laws in Japan, and one of the biggest ones being new censorship laws. Basically, like, there was just, like, you couldn't, like, depict a lot of different things, which they, I guess, had been able to get away with for a long time.
Yeah, because censorship is always a good thing, right?
So, artists...
that never
It's
backfires.
never backfired. Keep
never
the people down and
backfires.
keep them virgins. That's what I always say.
It's worked for
Yep,
me
that's
so
what
far.
the whole state of Utah says.
So artists obviously rebelled, found loopholes, created what's called doujinshi, / what we know today as modern hentai. Hentai has existed all the way back. I think the earliest was 1781 by Katao Shigemasa in this thing called Program of Erotic No Plays. They're woodblock carvings, but the most famous one was in 1814. It's called The Dream of Fisherman's Wife. And it depicts a woman engaging in sexual intercourse with two octopuses. Octopi.
I actually
Yeah.
knew about
So-
that because
Oh,
art history.
yeah, art history. And it's one of those things where it's like hentai did exist, like tentacle porn did exist already, but what we classify as like modern day hentai basically came from the censorship laws in World War II. To quote Toshio Maeda, a long-standing artist and enthusiast of doujinshi, tentacle isn't a penis. Tentacle isn't a
Enthusiast.
penis. His words.
That's true. It just looks
It just
a little
looks
like
a little
it.
like it.
But it's technically not.
And so
Not only is it technically not, it's biologically
biologically
not.
not. And after that,
Listen, on a male octopus, one of
That's
them
true.
is.
One of
That's
one
true.
of them
That
is-
is true.
What you don't know, you have a
It's
1 in 8
Russian
chance
roulette.
of getting the real. It's a Russian roulette of getting the real octopus peen.
Cock roulette.
cock,
So-
octopi
roulette.
cock roulette
We-
coming
cock
to
roulette.
a game store near you.
We're walking a thin line. Oh my god, that would be a great game.
Wishlist now on Steam.
Wishlist now. I can't wait until it goes. I hope Larian comes out with it. It would be
Larian's
amazing.
octopus.
Larian Studios.
Larian.
Studios.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
like, we don't want to make Baldur's Gate 3 DLC. Instead, we're gonna make octopus cock roulette.
Octopus Cock Roulette. It's the game that the people have actually
Begging
been
for.
yelling for.
I was gonna say, look, if
Absolutely
Balatro
begging
can be as
for.
popular as it is, I think we got something here.
And so, tentacle porn becomes a major fetish after the laws relax. And so that is
Okay.
part one of the domino effect. That is how the murder of Archduke Ferdinand led to the rise of modern day hentai in the world that we know it. Now,
Oh my god. This is only Domino 1.
Domino 1. Well, it's
I hate
yeah.
If
Well, you
Domino
can't-
1
it's not a
is,
domino
or if
effect.
the first part of the domino effect is tentacle porn, I hate to see where we're gonna end up.
now you might be asking
I'm
yourself,
fucking.
where's the next domino? Where does he go after World War II? Easy, 9/11. So,
Oh, Jesus.
9/11. Easy.
simple question, simple answer. 9/11. Never forget.
Simple
It
question.
happens.
9/11.
And it happens.
It happens.
And
It sure does.
a young Cartoon Network intern / comic writer, Gerard Way, sees it happen in front of him.
Gerard Way.
God.
Now,
He was coming in.
Gerard
Chemical
Way.
Romance.
This is my domino. Gerard Way goes on to create
Yeah, don't take
My
this from
Chemical
him.
Romance. Yes, as you pointed out. Now, MCR,
Yep. And
if you
Umbrella
haven't
Academy.
heard, wildly popular. And who
Wildly
listened
popular.
to MCR? Oh, but a young Mormon woman by the name of Stephanie Myers. And she's
Oh,
listening.
fuck me.
No.
She's listening to Mind Chemical
She's trying to
Romance,
soak.
and she's kind of soaking. And she's
Listening.
having a famous dream about
Yep.
a boy vampire and a girl, and they love each other, but they can't because he wants her blood. And so, what does she do with all of that? She creates a book. That book, you say?
That
Twilight.
sexual energy.
Now,
Yes.
the Twilight book gains big popularity. And this is let me preface. This right now is where the domino splits and fractures into two branch dominoes.
Oh, fuck.
So we have two
This
timelines.
is where in my notes it
dominoes.
says in all caps, timeline shift. So, this is
Timeline
timeline one,
shift.
also known as the all-around theory, the circular theory. This is, so the 9/11 MCR, boom, 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 Twilight. The Twilight book gets so popular. It becomes Twilight movies. Boom, we get 4 of those. 5 of those? 4 of those.
We get a lot
And
of them.
who's one of the lead actors in the Twilight movies? One but Robert Pattinson himself. One but Robert Pattinson
Yeah.
himself, Mr. Pattinson.
Famously
Batman,
related
the
to
Batman.
Emperor Hirohito.
Now we jump. Pattinson's going in and out of movie roles. He's going through different things. What does he land? He lands the movie Tenet, the palindrome movie with Christopher
My
Nolan
God.
at the head.
Oh my god.
That movie comes out. And at the wrap party, what does Robert Pattinson give one Christopher Nolan? A book, a pamphlet actually, of speeches from one J. Robert Oppenheimer. Which
I
inspires
can't believe it.
which inspires Christopher Nolan to read Modern Prometheus, which then leads him to make what movie? Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
And we're back at World War II, baby!
Dang, time is a flat circle.
Time is a flat circle, and it all starts with bombs. Now, to drop a...
And it ends
and
with
ends
them,
with
too.
bombs. Now to shift... Shit, let's peer back a little bit.
Now, we gotta shift
Let's
back to the other
rewind.
timeline.
And hop back over to where the timeline shift occurred. Twilight.
Okay.
It all starts with Twilight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Twilight. The book comes out. The movies come out. It spawns a huge fandom, as most things do. And what do people do in fandoms of things? They create art. They create different things. One of those things is fan fiction. Now,
That's
one
true.
of the most popular Twilight fan fictions of all time was an office-style one, where it takes place in an office. And that became so popular, it got published. Now, to publish things, you gotta change the, especially fan fictions, you gotta change the names and maybe some things. Otherwise, you get sued. What does that turn into? Right. 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
The books
Yes.
start coming out. 50 Shades of Grey books
That-
get turned into
That
movies.
pause was everything.
Those movies, who stars in those movies? One DJ, Dakota
Pattinson.
Johnson.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was
yeah.
in Peru. He was in the jungle with my mom when she studied spiders. That's the line from Madam Web. That Dakota Johnson.
Oh my god.
Now, 50 Shades, it blows up. Dakota Johnson rises to popularity. Good old DJ famous. What does she do? She goes on Ellen DeGeneres, which also happens to be Dakota Johnson's birthday party on that episode. Ellen's all like,
Oh.
I wasn't invited, Dakota. And that's where the famous lines were uttered by Dakota Johnson. Ellen, that's not true. Fucking,
Ellen, that's
that's
oh, yeah.
not true. Blew the fucking lid. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Everyone was like, Ellen's not genuine. Ellen's a liar. The show needs to be looked into a little more. Turns out, show's an actual nightmare. Show is an actual nightmare. People getting
Not
treated.
just the show, but Ellen herself.
himself. Yeah, causes the show to end. Ratings tank. A lot of things came to light about how she mistreated and played favoritism to a bunch of different guests. And so Ellen's career comes to an end. And that is the end of Timeline 2. 9/11 was the downfall of Ellen DeGeneres.
That, yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
Now, questions, comments, and concerns?
I'm just concerned at the
flabbergasted.
next dominoes.
Oh, the next dominoes is there's no more dominoes. There's 3.
Okay.
There's 3
There's-
dominoes.
What?
9/11.
Well, it's like they're all tangentially connected because World War II goes. I mean, Archduke Ferdinand goes all the way to hentai and World War II ending, and World War II causes, the atomic race and thermonuclear weapons being made, which is like an indirect cause of 9/11, like it's indirectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then, then all the 9/11 stuff happens. And then we get to Oppenheimer.
9/11 causes Oppenheimer.
9/11 is the reason the movie Oppenheimer was made. And 9/11 ended Ellen DeGeneres' career. And Archduke Ferdinand is the reason why modern hentai exists. There you go. Those are your 3 points.
Wow.
I'm flabbergasted.
Listen, I did a lot of research. You got questions? Let me hear them.
Absolutely. I do want to say, like, I had notes written out for the rest of this episode, and I looked back at my Google Doc, and for some reason, the only note for this episode now is it all just porn in the end?
The answer is yes.
The answer, I think, is
yes.
Probably.
So, I think I want to, like, my whole thing is, again, like, I knew about The Fisherman's Wife.
Yes.
Because I also went to art school with you, James.
We were there together.
We were there.
Tangentially.
Together but separate. Yeah, tangentially.
Much like the dominoes.
I'm like, so, because I know there was also, like, other, like, sexual paintings of the era. Was the one, the Fisherman's Wife one, was that, like, was there any discourse on how people reacted to that at first? Of, like,
no.
Hey, this guy's like, was he like, were they like, man, this guy's on to something, let him fucking cook? Or were they were like, huh?
Well, because he wasn't the first. Like, it's the most famous one.
Okay.
But he wasn't the first. The farthest back I could find was 1781, where The Dream of Fisherman's Wife is 1814. 1781, this guy, Katao Shigemasa, had Program of Erotic No plays, and is just more woodblock art of fucking sex.
Yeah.
In the way that, like, is just like a type of art that they made back then, and they were cool. I think that's also probably why the U.S. introduced the censorship laws, because, like, Japan was pretty down with sex, like they were kind of.
I know.
Oh yeah.
They were women were topless in Japan, like, way before Europeans got there.
I mean, I feel
and they, like,
most people outside of America are pretty okay with sexuality.
Yeah, it's the Puritans in us.
So we can lead the domino back to the Puritans sucking too. Okay, I'm cool with this now. I've looped back around on how great this is.
We've added another domino.
Yeah, you've looped back around. It's all good.
I don't have questions about your conspiracy theories, but I did want to loop back to Ellen DeGeneres being an awful person. One of the things that has made me laugh the hardest in recent months was Steve, friend of the show, Steve. You guys will remember Steve. We've talked about him on What the Fuck James a lot. And he sent me a GIF of I can't remember the actor's name, but he plays in The Good Doctor. But it's from like when he was young, and he's playing like 2 recorders out of his nostrils.
Oh, John Cena?
And no, it's not John Cena. But it cuts from like him. And it's just Ellen, and she's looking at him like if she could kill him in that moment, she would have. And it's the best thing that Steve has ever sent. It just took me so off kilter, like it took me off guard, that I died. Like I had to leave my room upstairs because people were sleeping. And I could not stop myself from, like, busting.
You were busting?
A gut.
Busted a gut.
Oh,
Lord, he busted.
Zachary, I have the full answers here for you if you want, if you're still interested.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so some of the earliest tentacle erotica were woodblock prints. such as Katao Shigemasa's Program of Erotic No Play 1781 and Shunsho's Katsukawa's Lust of Many Women on 1000 Nights in 1786.
Some great
Lust of
titles.
Many Women.
Jeez.
They are examples of shunga,
Many
which is
women.
Japanese erotic woodblock art. Although, fun fact, a lot of Western audiences interpreted the designs as rape, whereas Japanese audiences of the Edo period view it as consensual. A lot of...
I mean, I think that says a lot about the mindset,
Yeah.
but yes, go on.
There's also the story Tamatori steals the Dragon King's jewel. And that also has a thing during her escape, the Dragon King and his sea life minions, including octopi, pursue her. The dialogue in the illustration shows the diver and the two octopuses expressing mutual enjoyment. Contemporary censorship in Japan dates to the Meiji period. The influence of European Victorian culture was a catalyst for legislative interest in public sexual practices. Then the World War II stuff happened. The legal prescriptions against pornography therefore derive from the nation's penal code. Presently, obscenity is still prohibited. How this term is interpreted, however, has not remained constant. While exposed genitalia and, until recently, pubic hair is illegal, the diversity of permissible sexual acts is now fairly wide relative to other liberal democracies. The full quote from Toshio Maeda that I found is... The quote that I just took was "tentacle isn't a penis," but the full quote is, "It was illegal to create a sensual scene in bed. I thought I should do something to avoid drawing such a normal sensual scene, so I just created a creature. His tentacle is not a penis as a pretext. I could say as an excuse, this is not a penis, this is just a part of the creature. You know, the creatures, they don't have a gender. A creature is a creature, so it's not obscene, not illegal."
Hell
A creature
yeah.
is a creature.
A thing I didn't...
I too am a
A thing I
creature.
didn't include was how right around the time like post World War II was also the rise of animation in Japan, with Astro Boy being the first anime to come out, and it was inspired by like Betty Boop and like Mickey Mouse cartoons from America, and so that just like took off. And so then in 1985 the first tentacle erotica OVA came out called Dream Hunter Rem. For those at home that want to look it up.
I mean, hey, if that's your
Yeah,
bag.
if that's your bag, go for it. Just figure I'd name drop it for you.
See, I'm also reeling because while I'm listening to you talk about this, I have also been like going hard on like listening to something where it explains all the plot of Metal Gear. So like my brain is just racked with what the fuck right now.
He's
on
just
all
racked
sides.
with knowledge. He's just got too much rattling around in there.
Between the Metal Gear and hentai, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
Much like Zach, I feel like I had notes for a regular episode of What the Fuck James, but I don't have any interest in continuing.
I see.
I don't think I can.
I have
do you
been.
mean?
I don't
I
have
have
it in
been
me.
hyping this up for so long.
You guys
I
need to
know.
understand that this has been, like, James literally last year was like, I've got something that I want to talk to you guys about.
I know. He's been so ready.
He's been, like, he's more ready for this than he is to give a dissertation on the lore of Naruto to our entire
Well,
D&D
actually, hold
group.
on about that, because I am
Honest.
also ready for that.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, is James ready to tie in how the dropping of the atomic bombs led to Naruto as well?
I feel like it's pretty much the same pathway except minus the tentacle porn.
I don't know. I
mean,
mean,
is it
the
minus
tentacle
the
porn
tentacle
might
porn?
be
I
surprising.
don't think you can. Once you introduce tentacle
Orochimaru's-
porn, there is no minusing it. So I think it's just there.
That is true.
You know what
I
else?
mean,
You know what
No,
else?
you're
It's
right.
just
It's
always
kind of
there.
like the theory of time
Yeah, it's like
travel,
Sisyphus.
where it's like
I mean, what?
you don't get to go back to a time when time travel didn't exist.
Exactly.
One must imagine hentai porn happy.
You know what else
We
the
mu-
dropping of the, you know what else the dropping of the bomb introduced?
What?
Godzilla, sorry,
Yeah?
that's just my hyperfixation at the moment.
Oh no,
hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
no, but that's been a known
I
thing.
mean, Godzilla is,
That's
Oh no,
is
literally
there
a
goes
part
given.
of the
Tokyo.
lore.
Go Godzilla.
Go Godzilla. Go censorship laws. Go tentacle erotica.
Go tentacle porn.
Please call it as it is,
Gadget
erotica.
tentacle.
Go
porn.
Erotica,
gadget.
here,
tentacle
absolutely.
erotica.
Yes, this has some class here. It's not porn. It's erotica.
It started
Guys,
as
I'm
woodblock
sorry,
art.
okay?
Come on.
Woodblock art. I just think that that's kind of beautiful.
It is.
That's
The
where
woodblock art is really
Yeah,
beautiful.
tentacle
That's where it
erotica
comes from.
began with woodblock art.
Here's the image.
Okay.
It is like kind
No,
of a
yeah.
nice image. It's like very sensual, but like not in a disgusting
it's
way. I
like,
guess.
I don't look at it and go, man, I could beat off to this. It's wow, that's good art.
But it's also
Yeah, but if you were in
like
the
Yeah.
if you were in the Edo period,
But if you were in the
you'd be
Edo
beaten off to
period
that
at
shit.
fucking
Oh, yeah, yeah.
1814, you were like, yeah.
that octopus is
Well,
also
yeah,
better
if you
looking
were-
than DJ
baby.
Khaled. So,
Oh, that is true.
true.
Yeah, well,
guys, in case you don't
But yeah,
understand
if
the joke
you
that
were,
I
like-
just made, DJ Khaled historically, canonically said that he has never pleasured a woman orally.
yeah, he doesn't perform
What a
cunnilingus,
fucking
but you know
asshole.
who does? Smash Mouth.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're an
that's
You know
all-star.
who
You know who
does
does?
That's
that?
what their
Octopus.
entire name is
Octopi.
based on. Octopi from
Yeah.
Octopi from the Edo period.
You know who does?
Octopi from the Edo period. Good job.
Decoy octopus. Sorry, that's just me talking about my fascinations again. Never mind.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's
Good guy
fucking
octopus
wild.
over
Decoy
here.
octopus like Revolver Ocelot.
Decoy Octopus is a boss in Metal Gear Solid, the first one, that you never actually meet.
Oh, he's the. Okay, yeah, I know that one.
You know exactly
Yeah,
who
yeah,
I'm talking
yeah,
about. It all loops back.
Listen, I'm not. I guess what I'm here to say is like. The tentacles are in places that you probably didn't think of.
Yeah.
You look at something.
And some that you did.
Yeah, some you are well aware of, and then some you look at it and you didn't know that a tentacle has been there. It's the
It's very tasteful. Like the woodblock stuff is
Oops,
very
all tentacles.
tasteful.
Oops, all tentacle erotica. You can connect, I think, anything to tentacle erotica is what I'm basing it on.
If you try hard enough, it's like the steps
That's
to Kevin
true.
Bacon.
Yeah.
It's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but with tentacle erotica.
And it's like we said, there's, it's all tangential. I mean, 9/11,
Yeah.
World War II,
yeah, no.
9/11
Yeah.
It's all
leads to
born of
Oppenheimer.
everything.
9/11 also leads
And
to the fall
Oppenheimer
of Ellen
Oppenheimer
DeGeneres.
will eventually lead to another wave of tentacle erotica.
Who's to say it's not happening
God.
right now?
It could be because Oppenheimer was just released.
Actually, what
in
Oppenheimer led
Japan.
to was Godzilla -1 is actually what
That's
I
true.
want to talk about.
Yeah.
And how that is
Hell
a double
yeah.
feature.
Oppenheimer and Godzilla -1.
Yes, they're indirectly sequels to each other.
They're
I
definitely
love
related
that.
to each other. Can't have one without the other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Jeez.
So anyways,
Well, that was.
Well, I'm fucking tapped.
oh man, so at the
Yeah.
top of this article, it says this article is about the pornographic genre for the geometric phenomenon. See tendril perversion. And I'm curious what that is.
Tendril Perversion is the name
what
of my
the
new
sad
punk
part
band.
is? Like when I really wanted to do like for my like capstone project when I was getting my bachelor's, I wanted to like talk about how like actual cultural stuff had influenced anime and like pop culture in China and Japan. And all the articles that I found had like great titles. It was just like, cat girls and communism, how cat girls and communism, how Japan and China, went to war. And then like it was the most boring article on the face of the planet and didn't actually tell you anything about how, like, wood blocks influenced
Yeah.
like how Japan sees sexuality, because like we are joking, but it is pretty important to know that like Japan is a sensual nation.
Yeah,
Like,
they don't shy away from
they
things.
do really like this. Yeah, they don't shy, and they've always found ways around censorship. But like no one thinks
No,
about
because they
that.
look at it and go, haha.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's laughing. It's like they're actually doing something like extremely like no, it's not underhanded, but like they saw a rule and they didn't like it, and they were like, "Oh, okay. Well, people still want to like look at this stuff."
And in all
so
fairness, isn't that how like
how are we gonna do it,
a lot of
boys?
great art is made? Is in direct rebellion of censorship. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
all good art has something to say, and if your something to say is "fuck you," we should be able to do what we want that is culturally relevant to
fuck you,
us.
tentacle erotica.
Fuck you, tentacle erotica. Yeah, like
Yeah,
if that's the sentiment, then it has something to say.
yeah. I know I just went off about a whole bunch of different things in a sort of joking matter, but like, yeah, in all seriousness, like.
It is cool. Like,
Yeah.
it is a cool thing that they are doing and that, like, does exist. And I don't really understand why articles, like academic articles that are written about how, like, older things have influenced pop culture in these countries are so fucking
Because they don't have
boring.
me writing it.
Yeah.
That's true. Like, honestly,
Solid
if the
point.
way that you told the story was just written down, but with like footnotes to back it up, I just don't see
Tell
why
me
that's
you
wrong.
don't want to
Yeah.
read an article
If it
that
can
says
keep
the
people's
Oppie Toppie
interest.
special in capital letters.
Oh, I do. I
Well,
do.
I'm saying the opposite.
That's all I
wanna
ever wanted,
read
and I
that.
didn't know it until tonight.
Yeah, like, I want to read that article.
Also, Cat Girls and Communism, also my new band name.
I love that.
Cat Girls and Communism.
That's my new
yeah,
ska
it's a
band
good.
name.
It's good.
What was,
I can't wait to
But,
skank
like-
to some
some
cat girls and communism.
What was my other band name? Muscle Mommy Asterisk.
Muscle
Yeah.
Mommy asterisk, yeah.
Muscle Mommy
Yeah.
asterisk.
And what did we say that was?
That's really good.
Midwest emo?
It's not Midwest emo. I actually
Midwest
think
emo,
it's
yeah.
post rock.
Yeah, you're right.
It's my shoegaze.
Jeez. All right, and with
Well-
that, I don't know what else we can
Alright.
say.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot more I could
I
say
was gonna
about
say
this.
we can
I just
talk about
wanna-
other things.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we could sit here and shoot the shit for the next, however long.
Fair
But-
enough.
But I don't know if we want to do that as part of a regular recording or if we want to do that after for an after dark. So I'm gonna end the podcast here.
If you want me to come
Uh,
back, make it heard.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you want James to come back for another episode,
Let us know in the comment section.
let us know in the comments. Zach's gonna do our social stuff now. So Zach, do the social
Yeah.
stuff.
So, if you liked what you heard from us and all of our ridiculousness,
It's also
Please
important to
follow
note
us on
if this is your first episode, it's an April Fool's episode, guys. So
yeah,
they're
if
not,
it's
they're not all like this.
Wow.
What?
What?
You can follow us on all our socials. You can find us on Instagram at _triumvirate_productions. You can find us on Facebook by looking up the Triumvirate Productions. And you can also find us on Patreon with patreon.com/Triumvirate Productions, where if you join either the 2, 3, or 2 or 3 strike levels, you're going to get some bonuses, including the After Dark specials, which we mentioned here, and uncut episodes. The 1 strike level is just, you appreciating us, and we appreciate you, but
That's what we
the bonus
appreciate
content
about you.
comes. That's what we appreciate about you. But James, where can people find you, and what are you working
Oh
on?
boy. Well, fuck. I wasn't ready for this.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. You know what? I'll be selfish. I'll plug. If
Yeah.
you're,
Yeah,
yeah,
you should.
I will. You know what? I will. If you want to hear more film takes, you can find me on Letterboxd at Kahlua. Actually, what is it? At James the Joke. That's my Letterboxd. I post reviews for films because I'm a dirty, stinky film major. If you want to see
Okay.
other hot takes, I'm on Twitter at Kahlua Pork. Instagram at jame.mp4. I'm sure that'll be in the description, but it's jaem.mp4. And then I stream on twitch.tv/James_the_joke. Yeah. Twitch.tv/James_the_joke. It's complicated. Twitch sucks. But I stream games mostly because I've never played them before, so I want to share that. But yeah, that's about it.
I was saying, you were doing your fucking Kingdom Hearts run for a long ass
Yeah,
time.
I had
God,
to take
yeah.
a break
Yeah,
because
you were.
Chain of Memories made me want to actually brick my own PC. And
He wanted to kill himself in Minecraft.
yeah, in Minecraft, and then bring Sora there and kill him too. So yeah, currently we were doing Kingdom Hearts. I will go back and finish that, but yeah, I mostly talk dumb and talk fast. So that's my whole thing. If you like movies and entertainment, that's usually what I'm talking about.
Cool.
Awesome.
I just wanted to take a minute before we close this episode out to thank our sponsor, James. James paid 25 cents to be the sponsor of this episode, and so I just want to say thank you, James, for your continued support.
Of course.
And with that,
And if anyone else wants to sponsor an episode, know that we're 25 cents cheap.
we certainly are.
Yeah, we
It was,
are
I, only,
25
I only had
cents.
50 cents, so I gave the last one a kiss, and it kind of covered up for it.
Yeah.
Who
And
he
then-
smooched will never tell.
I don't kiss and tell, but I do make tentacle erotica.
Who would?
All right. I'm going to close out this episode the
He's
same
doing the
way we
Lord's
do
work.
every episode by saying the question that we always say, which is, what the fuck, James?
Ah, sorry.